it was a good win. We started off slow defensively. Certainly had some mental errors there that they had a good game plan coming in, but we had some mental errors, some gap problems in the run, and then turned the tight end loose a couple times. We got it fixed after he got open one more time on us. We got it fixed, and then played pretty good defense the rest of the day. Offensively, we threw 7 touchdown passes, I think. Talon did a good job of avoiding pressures. Some of them were simple twist games that we had pressure on. Some of them where they brought one more than we could protect in our protection, who was hot. We've got to get better there. But I was proud that we were able to throw the ball to a lot of different people, get them involved. I think that's going to help us in the future with those guys getting some confidence. A lot of different kids scored touchdowns. I was glad to see all of them. I was happy to see C.J. Brown score a couple touchdowns after his hardship that he's gone through. So that was really cool to see there. It was great to see Starsick come in and kick a 53-yard field goal on his first kick as a Razorback, and I thought our special teams played well, and so I'll answer any questions you have.
Yeah, Coach, just your overall assessment of what Talon was able to do. Had to do some things with his legs also today. Yeah,
I mean, one, we were turnover free. That's big. So he took care of the football. He was smart, throwing and running. Once he got out, understood where first downs were, whether he needed to throw or he could run to get it. I thought he had good command over the huddle and over the offense all day, and he distributed the ball to several different people. So came out, I think, healthy, and so I was really pleased with his game. And we just got to protect him. We got to continue to work. We knew they were going to blitz the heck out of us, and they did. But we've got to get better protecting him as well.
In the first 2 scrimmages, the second-team offense scored on the first-team defense on the first drive both times, and then they shut them down. And then you kind of had a similar deal here. Is that a worry that it maybe takes them a little bit to get warmed up or something?
Well, it's one game. I was more concerned about the missed assignments, that we were having. That wasn't necessarily the case in the scrimmages, you know what I mean? So I think if we don't miss the assignments, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape, but we did. And so therefore we got in trouble on that first drive. Was nasty. It was terrible. And but after that, for the most part, they came back. But we'll address that and go exactly why they went down the field and scored on us. But in my mind right now, it's about mental errors.
When the defense did kind of lock in after that first drive, what did you see from them specifically, maybe on the back end where you got some new guys at corner? I mean, were you pleased with maybe how the secondary performed today?
Yeah, yes. After the first drive, I wasn't. I mean, I don't think anybody was. But after the first drive, I think that we changed up our coverages some, and I think we covered them tighter. There was some non-contested balls early, and then after that, I think almost every ball that was thrown was a contested ball, and I do think the guys who came up and were physical back there as well. So a lot of new guys back there. So hopefully that's out of the system, and that we're rolling.
You mentioned the different targets for Talon, going to a bunch of different receivers. Is that something you are wanting to see from him, or do you want that to come naturally? Like, how much you talk about trying to spread it around right now?
Well, Bobby would be the one that could answer that more than me, to be perfectly honest with you. But he has his first read, his second read, his third read, depending on, and Bobby has his reasoning for calling a play, whether it be because what he can see, what he knows is going to come open, or he wants to specifically target a guy. So, but I was just happy that a bunch of guys got involved, and it sure does make them want to practice more and more and harder and know they're going to get the football.
But you thought of O-line play and the run game in particular?
Yeah, we talked about it at halftime. I think we had about 100 yards or something like that rushing at half, maybe 90 something. It was right at 100. And we talked about wanting to be able to run the ball more. Again, I've spoke on our protection. I think we got to get better, especially on the games, twist games. But I think, I don't know what we ended up rushing the ball, but the bottom line is when you're playing a zero team, you want to try to run the football, but a lot of times you'll run into numbers. You're trying to run away from the blitz, but they double-edged us quite a little bit tonight. And so you throw it if that's the case. It's a little bit different. I remember Western Kentucky 2 years ago, and West Carolina, and we scored a bunch of points, but we could not run it. It's a different deal to me tonight. I'm not worried about us being able to run the ball.
One of the things Bobby Petrino mentioned to us was yards after catch had to be more, and it looked like you got a lot of yards after catch today. Can you talk on that?
Yeah, we really did, and I think Blake was really good at. C.J. Brown, did a good job breaking a tackle on his first touchdown, and Monte Harrison did a really good job. But I think from when you're talking about what Bobby said, I think that's one of the things we did really well was yard after catch.
In particular, you mentioned with the yards after catch. I know he came in with the big numbers from last season, but is that about what you expected from him? And do you think he can kind of sustain that as you get more to the heart of your schedule?
I don't know. 7 balls for what did he end up having? 7 balls for 121. I don't know if you can sustain that. I'd like for him to.
Yards after catch in particular.
Yeah, he played extremely hard. We went in there and got us a first down when it looked like he could have been short. Talon did too. Jumped over there and made a first down. But Omega's a tough guy. And he likes to play football. And so, did I want him to do that? Yes. Did I know he could do that? Yes. So if that's the case, yes, we'll expect it every week.